NVDA Coach, an add-on that's available for the NVDA screen reader. And you can download it from the add-on store or directly from my website, tonygebhard.me/NVDA Coach. I believe accessibility is a human right, so how do we facilitate that?
NVDA Coach, it's free.
It's never going to cost anything, ever. It's having another tool in your toolbox.
Welcome to Blind Abilities. I'm Jeff Thompson. Today in the studio, returning to the studio, is Tony Gebhard. He's an instructor, teacher, and now he's creating programs. Tony, welcome to Blind Abilities.
Hey, feels good to be back. This is familiar territory.
I wait till you live in at least 3 states before I pick up on you again.
Exactly. You wait for eons of change.
Yeah.
Right,
but you really got something coming out. I listened to your last podcast that you just put out. It's nice and short, a little demo. Tell us what it is.
Yeah, gosh, I love it. Cutting right to the chase. Yeah, NVDA Coach. This is an add-on that's available for the NVDA screen reader. You can download it from the add-on store or directly from my website, tonygebhard.me/NVDA Coach. And this is the first of its kind, fully immersive sandbox environment to learn the NVDA screen reader from start to finish. Everything from understanding different keyboard commands, the differences between the keyboard command groups, whether that be Windows, application, or NVDA itself, navigating through web pages, dialog boxes, understanding your keyboard. And it's changing at least every 2 weeks with the development phase. So feedback has been incredible from the community, from arguably all areas of the globe. I'm just happy to see it do what it's intended to do, and that's give people access again.
One thing that really stuck out to me, Tony, was this. Typically, if I'm going to, or when I was learning JAWS, I'd see a demo. I'd have to switch out of that, go to the demo, come back, try it, read this, come back and try it. But it wasn't on the same screen. I wasn't just being taught like a teacher right in the room.
Yeah.
There's 3 layers. You got the applications, it's right there for you.
Yeah.
Why don't you explain that to what I'm trying to explain myself?
Yeah, no, Ev, you hit it right on the head. That's perfect. I mean, NVDA Coach, right from the get-go with one keystroke, NVDA Shift-C. And when I say NVDA, I mean caps lock, insert, or numpad 0. That prompts it. That prompts the window to open up. It'll give you a bunch of robust commentary on what to do and how to do it. That's very intentional to navigate the various chapters and the lessons that are inside those chapters. It's a very intuitive design. I wanted to make it easy. I wanted to make it really simple. And quite frankly, I don't want people to think about it. I just want them to move, have a little autonomy with it. For so long, the user manual experience has been, for 5 to 10% of the populace, they love user manuals, and that's wonderful. A large populace doesn't want to have to navigate through that table of contents, and maybe they don't even have the skills to do that yet. So this add-on, this program is designed to provide a user manual, but in lessons and in guided practice sessions. And it has its own built-in sandbox. And when I say that, I mean it has its own web pages that are built into the program that will prompt you when they come up. It has a dummy dialog box, is what I like to call it. So information that you type into edit boxes or buttons that you activate, they don't do anything. They don't go anywhere, but it will give you real-world experience to be able to test it, to be able to experiment, and just have the reassurance like, hey, you're not going to break anything.
Yeah, I like that. You're actually learning, but you're actually using NVDA at the same time, or the application that you're on.
Yeah, there you go. Bingo. You have that real world experience. And, by the time you're done doing all the lessons, you'll have a new sense of, I think, accomplishment just from what I've been hearing from feedback. The coach, as it's now being referred to in the community, which just cracks me up, the coach is very intuitive in that regard. And I'm hoping to expand more on that as community feedback rolls in.
Let's think about this. Say someone tried NVDA before and it was just too confusing because they didn't know where to go, how to do it, or they didn't want to break anything. What do you say to this beginner, this person brand new to it today?
I'd say, let's try the coach, right? Let's try the coach. And it's designed for assistive technology instructors as well, not just consumers and users. This was designed for training centers, rehabilitation programs, and technology agencies to be able to facilitate to their students wherever they are around the world so that they can walk with their students, right? So that right there is kind of the basis of it. I'd say, look, hey, we had maybe a questionable experience then. Let's try it with this. Everything is safely congested into to this program. So anything you do will not break it. And if you hit the wrong button, oh well, you can start over. So, that's the other thing. It's not going to chastise you for being curious.
I like it because it's pretty basic. You got the 1, the 2, you got hints on there too as well, so they can get some clues. And I like how you talk about, well, hopefully you know where the return key is, the arrows keys are, this, that, just the basic of what you need to get started on it. And it sounds like a real safe environment to explore.
On that note, I was just talking to a community member in a NVDA tech group. One of the things I asked was, are you ever going to consider implementing touch typing feedback into this? And that is something that I hope to do for a future version, hopefully version 2, because that's a lot of infrastructure to throw into this. Eventually, I would hope to have touch typing as a, kind of function in the program itself, so you can choose your own adventure, so to speak.
You come out with this year. It just comes out, and already people are wanting the next version.
I know. Yeah, it's driving me nuts, but it's good. That's exactly what we need, is community feedback. This is designed for the community, by the community. I'm just the one that pushes buttons.
On your demo, you mentioned something about over 40 lessons?
When it first came out, I had 21 total lessons, and now there's 42.
Now there's 42.
Now there's 42.
I like the easy navigation. What was there, 7 chapters?
Yeah, there's chapters that you can navigate through. So at the top, there's introduction. Below that, there's getting started, browsing and navigation, object navigation, customizing NVDA, so on and so forth. And then at the bottom, there is a option called additional training and help. And that will open up another sandbox, little HTML document that you can navigate with your web navigation skills that you learned. And it'll give you links to NVDA's website, NVDA's user manual, the source code for this project, as well as my email address, info@tonygebhard.me. So if you have feedback and you want to submit that, any other comments, so on and so forth, that's where you'll find all that information. And I'm hoping to just, this is kind of small detail. What I'm hoping to just assign feedback to a function key. So you can just hit F4 to prompt an edit box, and then you can just type, you should do this, blah, blah, blah. And I'll just get it within 5 minutes or something like that. So again, to me, as easy as possible for the user experience, because I want students to spend more time retaining information instead of getting lost and being frustrated.
Oh yeah, using it instead of figuring out how to use it.
There you go. Bingo. Right. Information is right there. You can press F1 to hear the lesson repeated to you again. F2, as you said earlier, F2 reads you one of 3 hints for each step of a lesson. F3 will skip a step or lesson. So if you've already done that or you're feeling pretty comfy with it, you can just go right past it, and so on and so forth. So yeah, the user's in control.
Over 40 lessons.
Yeah, over 40 lessons. Yeah, it's expanded. I don't want it to go too high, because I don't want, if somebody sees a number like 90 lessons, oh my God, that could be pretty daunting. So I want to try and condense it into what's important. And that's where the feedback from the community is the most important. The community will tell me, in this case, right, what is the most important part of learning this module? And that's going to shape the future for this program.
Well, I really like that. In the beginning, it's so simple. It's talking, you hit control, it stops. And then you go to the down arrow and you start reading. It's self-explanatory. You got good text there talking to the person. So that's really good. I really like that. It's inviting.
Yeah, and that's the goal, right? It's like having your own AT instructor right there with you to guide you along the way. It tackles the first command right off the bat, like you said, control, and being able to move forward from that. And there's little ear cons built into it as well. Those are fun, and we'll see where the next phase of it will go.
I think 3-4 days ago, you put out a little demo, a little bite-sized demo, and I really like that, because all of a sudden, pretty soon, you're saying, on the next episode,
Yeah.
Yeah. It was over, and it was like bite-sized enough to go get it, download it, and give it a shot. Give it a whirl.
Yeah, totally.
There's so many people out there right now, that are JAWS. It costs money. Bottom line.
Sure.
Even for VRs, they got to pay money for it too. So how you're getting it, or some point you're going to have to start paying for it. When you see that coming up 3 months down the line, you're going to start thinking, maybe I should give NVDA a try. It's free. And NVDA Coach, it's free.
Yeah, it's free. Absolutely. And I do welcome contributions for anyone who wants to be a part of the project. You're more than welcome to throw it, but it's never going to cost anything. Ever, ever. It's interesting you bring that up. In my day job, I work for a state agency, and I was sitting with a couple of the higher ups talking about efficiency and how to save money and this, and that. And NVDA was the center of that conversation. Coach was built. Well, I should say the seed for Coach was started back in October, because I've been working on it for months. And the consensus was, if you take 200 people and this is, by no means does the Blind Abilities podcast reflect my opinion on this, right? But this is, just identifying like consumers that are using screen readers. $2,000 is a lot of money. Subscription renewals, those are a lot of money too. That's a big chunk.
Every 3 or 4 years too.
Right. Exactly. They're renewing those SMAs and those home annual subscriptions. They can get pretty pricey. And for some folks who have the infrastructure in place and have the budgetary means to pursue it, then, go you, right? But a larger quantity of our populace does not have that luxury. And the Coach, in a lot of ways, is the answer to it. And that's my goal, is to give it more global accessibility so people can focus more on allocating funds to outreach or independent living or activities of daily living, O&M. And that by no means is that a negative bash towards some of the competitors that are facilitating the software out there, but because business is business. But I believe accessibility is a human right. So how do we facilitate that?
Back in 1997, I got a taste of that. I was a printer and I lost my eyesight. And the first thing that happened was I had my goodbye to my company that I was working for, and they gave me a check for $700 so I could buy JAWS.
Oh, wow.
I mean, they knew, because it was a burden, a burden that here for me to even get started to access a computer, I would have to get a piece of software.
Right.
And I thought, oh, that's expensive. I didn't know about vocational rehab yet. I didn't know the ropes. I didn't know what path I was going to go
Sure.
down.
Sure.
So the cost was huge, especially when you're just out of a job.
Yeah, $700 is most people's monthly checks in a lot of
back
ways,
then
right?
Back then it was more than rent.
Right. Right.
So when you see NVDA sitting there for free, a download and contributions, if you're going to use the Coach, that's your own discretion. That's, you can use it. And is it the same? I don't know. Right. Do people compare them?
I'm a user of both, right? So I try to keep a happy medium without sounding too politically this way or that way. Mm-hmm. So I want to tread on some water there. But at the same time, based on a training that I facilitated recently here in the Pacific Northwest with 8 very highly skilled AT instructors who are very seasoned with JAWS. All of them spoke highly of NVDA by the end of that training and complimented its comparisons, complimented its ease of use and adaptability with most, if not all, scenarios that would be used with JAWS, right? So I try to look at data in that regard to filter through the noise. And from my personal opinion, yes, yeah, for sure. There's absolutely, I would say, an advantage in many ways to having NVDA, given its lightweight installation, many resources, and it's built by the community for the community. Mm-hmm. I think that's where the advantage is NVDA was built 20 years ago in Australia. 2 guys put this software together, not really thinking it was going to go anywhere, and within 3 years, it became public and thousands of people started noticing. And by 2010, there was a minor shift in the field. And now we have thousands of NVDA add-ons, which are extensions to NVDA. I think a lot of the time people get scared when they see the word open source, because open source means, anyone can tamper with it. Not exactly. NVDA does have an auditing process. That's, if you make an add-on, it has to go through, checks and balances. It has to go through detections and has its own automations of, does this have a virus? Is it compatible? Is it backwards compatible?
They got their gatekeepers.
Yeah, exactly. There you go. That's good. Yeah, they got their gatekeepers, man. And it's such a loving community as well. Very, very inclusive. I've learned so much about programming from them. I've learned so much about Python and how things connect and what does work, what doesn't. So I would say in so many ways, an agency can save millions of dollars, especially larger agencies. They can save millions of dollars by making a simple switch. I think what makes it hard though is just, there's a philosophy around it. JAWS has been around for 30 years. JAWS has been a staple. It's been recognized. It's been given investment. And when there's money involved, there's politics. So I think when you pull back that veil and try to look at the bigger picture, NVDA does the same thing that JAWS does. Just there's no price tag.
Mm-hmm.
And for some people that makes them mad. For some people that opens a lot of doors. So it really it's open for interpretation, I think.
Like you said earlier, I think it's a great option for someone that reasonably they can just download it, give it a shot, work with it. If they get into a job where other people who have worked there use scripts from JAWS, they can then merge into that or have it. Like you said, you do both. I think it's nice to have more tools in your toolbox, a cliche thing.
Bingo.
But when you can draw upon something that you know something about, that's really good. I use JAWS on one laptop, but on my Mac, I don't use JAWS. I use VoiceOver, of course.
There you go.
But it's nice to have that when you need it.
Bingo. Yeah. And I think you put it into excellent words there. It's having another tool in your toolbox. I want to just make a note on this. I want to give a big shout out to the NVDA RU, and that's the Russian community for NVDA. They really stepped in and contributed a lot to this project because they, without being prompted, took it, translated it, sent me the files, and applied their knowledge of their language and their culture to making this accessible for their people. And that opened my eyes to global access. And that's what this is about. This isn't just to cater to our market here in the US. I want this to be a tool that people can run to because there's so many underdeveloped programs and countries out there that don't have the kind of residual funds that we do, right? There's no RSA in this country. There's no VR program in this country. So what this ultimately is the answer is it's that free resource. It's that avenue that folks can take who speak a different language, who may not have the opportunities that we have here in the US, so they can learn just like we can.
Yeah. Like I said, I first took my first steps when I heard JAWS speak to me the first time. It was like, whoa.
Whoa. Yeah.
Yeah. Like I have access to it. And I went down that road. And then when I started hearing about NVDA, it was like, it was something off on the side. But I tell you, more and more people have been talking about it, especially lately over the last year or so. There's a lot of talk about NVDA, especially on the affordability, but not only that, but the quality of it as a tool that they can use.
Oh gosh, you're not kidding. And the honchos over at NV Access, big shout out to Sean and Quentin and all those guys that spend so much quality time perfecting the program, the code. They're very involved with the community. That's what I think has made NVDA to being such a globally embraced program, is the inclusivity of it. Because I go back on a previous statement. It's built by the community for the community.
Mm-hmm.
And that's their philosophy within add-ons and the program itself.
You touched on it a little bit earlier. Can you tell me, why would an AT instructor who has students want NVDA Coach?
Sure. The coach, in a lot of ways, it provides an instructor the opportunity to have a ready module, right? I don't know about any other instructors that might be listening to the show. I'm not going to hand a student a user manual.
And personally, you can say hi, Cheryl. I know she's going to.
Hi,
listen.
Cheryl. Here you go. Hi, Cheryl. Right? I almost guarantee Cheryl is not just going to hand a user manual to a student and say, go figure it out. The coach provides that module for instructors to sit with their students, to assign homework. It's like, okay, yeah, I'm going to assign you lessons 1 through 5 in the Object Navigator tonight, and I want you to come back to me and tell me what you learned. That gives that easy platform. It's like Trainingware. Trainingware is a brilliant example of a module that walks folks through Microsoft Office. And Freedom Scientific has a Daisy book library that you can access for JAWS training books. I also think that's wonderful, right? So, and this is the NVDA comparison. This gives students and instructors an opportunity to work on a module together.
Oh, perfect. That's perfect. I'm excited about it because I too haven't switched over to NVDA or even give it a shot because I didn't know where to start. No, let me get you. I did download it 8 years ago, and and the synthesizer was like, whoa. But that was years ago. I heard they've really improved upon lots of stuff. So
yeah.
I shouldn't even throw that in there, but I have to admit it. I tried it, but I didn't know. I didn't have a coach.
You didn't have a direction. That's what scares most people about it. Again, NVDA, when they made this, at first it was for people who wanted to rebel, right?
Take this, Hunter Joyce.
And try to go off into their own world. But it's evolved since then. There's been such an evolution. And, you know, the coach is sort of the answer to that missing link. I tell you, the first version of JAWS I ever used was JAWS 6.
3.1.
Oh, there you go.
HJ.com was their website.
Oh, my goodness.
HJ, I think that was Hunter Joyce. Yeah, I wonder if they still have that. You got to hang on to 2-letter websites.
HJ.com. Let's see. Nope, this site can't be reached. Oh, man.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, man.
That was years ago.
Now, if you tried to buy that, it'd probably cost you a fortune.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But NVDA is free, and so is NVDA Coach.
You got it.
That's sweet.
Totally free, no strings attached. And if you want to contribute and be a part of the contribution phase, to me, feedback or contribution, they're both equally valuable.
I'm glad you're open to feedback because you don't know what you don't know.
Oh my gosh, are you kidding? I mean, I'm just one instructor. I'm just one teacher. And everyone has a different learning curve. Everyone learns and a different teaching philosophy too. Because the big goal for version 2.0 later this year is an instructor environment. There'll be an opportunity for instructors to create their own module within the coach as sort of a sneak peek, I guess.
And you got your first sneak peek right here on Blind Abilities.
Yeah, looking ahead, the coach, I want to build a custom instructor environment for instructors to add or modify their own lessons and be able to create a deployed version of that. So definitely a lot of work ahead to try and get that done, but that's been some feedback. Other feedback, is to have a touch typing functionality, even add Microsoft Office lessons. So, I mean, who knows? The coach could easily evolve out of just the NVDA space, but, I won't go too far ahead in that. I mean, the sky's the limit, but at the same time, the most important part is it's free, it's intuitive, it's robust, and I encourage everyone to download it and to give it a try and leave me feedback. I'm telling you, tell me what you think. Do you hate it? Do you love it? And what do you think could make it better?
So how can they get a hold of you, Tony?
Yeah, send an email to info@tonygebhard.me. That's honestly all inquiries. I read everything. I read every piece of feedback. I reply to every piece of feedback. You can get the coach from the NVDA add-on store. And to access that, you press NVDA N, hit T for tools, A for add-on store, and then shift tab 5 times to get to installed add-ons, right arrow twice to available add-ons, tab 5 more times to get to the list, and then use first letter navigation to find NVDA Coach.
How can they find the podcast?
Oh, yeah, totally. If you want to check out the show, it's Tony Gebhard Show on Spotify or Apple and YouTube. I get the privilege to talk to awesome people like Jeff on the show.
There you go.
And just blind innovators, blind mentors. We recently had Martijn Vanderspeck from PickyBot. He's awesome. Taylor Arndt, she's awesome too, and a bunch of other change makers. That's the big thing. And Blind Abilities actually inspired me to start the show, funny enough. How about that?
You wanted something good.
That is not the reason why I made it.
So www.tonygebhard.me.
That's right. Yeah, TonyGebhard.me is the site. You find all my projects, the blog, and the music as well. I still do the music, so don't worry. I never quit. I'm just focusing a lot of my energy on community outreach.
What else do you got to do on the weekends, right?
Oh my gosh, not enough. 9 to 5, Monday through Friday, and then the weekends pretty much just fill up with all the extra stuff.
Well, Tony, thanks a lot for coming on The Blind Abilities and sharing with us. NVDA Coach, thank you very much.
Yeah, no problem. Thanks, everybody, and stay groovy.
For more podcasts with the blindness perspective, check us out on the web at www.blindabilities.com. And if you want to leave some feedback, give us some suggestions, give us a call at 612-367-6093. We'd love to hear from you. I want to thank you for listening, and until next time, bye-bye.
When we share
what we see
through each other's eyes, we can then begin to bridge the gap
between the limited expectations and the reality
of blind ability.
abilities.